If you're not paying for the product, you are the product. Every action you do on the internet gets recorded. Every stop, every scroll, every click, every gap between the scroll gets recorded. Most apps use algorithms to create artificial models of you to predict content of your liking. This makes you use the app way longer than intended. These apps know more than what your best friends know, and in some cases, surprisingly, more than you. Rather than selling this data, they use this data to improve the model of you and create better personalized ads and content for you. Remember, these companies have three main objectives to meet. Firstly, the engagement goal, to keep you on the app as long as possible. Secondly, they have a growth goal, to make sure you invite your friends. And finally, the most important part of the business, the advertisement goal, to make as much money off you as possible. These goals are met through complex computing algorithms. Features like tagging, join notifications are ploys to get you back on the app, and they use these ploys when they think you're free. Well, how do they know you're free? It's important to keep in mind that these apps track almost every move you do. They track your location, they track when you open the app, when you close the app, how long you spend in the app, etc. And this allows them to create a timetable of you. This schedule gets refined over time with more data collected. And that's how they know when we are free and when to ping us. It's quite funny how we became lab rats for these companies to do tests on. Most tech companies test new algorithms on us every day, probably without us even knowing. So these algorithms are rolled out to specific small groups to see how they react. Recently, YouTube changed their ad system by increasing the ads from 2 to around 4. And there was a huge outcry in Twitter, Reddit, and so many other social platforms. This shows that companies can change the behaviors and emotions of a group of people at any given time. A classic example of this was during the 2016-2017 elections, where a data analyzing company named Cambridge Analytica made ads tailored to different groups of people. These ads pressured people to vote for Trump, and the outcome of the election shows how well the campaign worked. Moreover, there are reports that they have been involved in the Brexit campaign in UK too. Now, most of us can't go a day without using social media, and this is quite true. In India, we have a final exam, which is 100% of a grade, and I knew for a fact that I wasn't able to go through this exam season without opening WhatsApp at least once a day. Most apps find a way to create dopamine hits which induce a sense of euphoria. When we watch a video which we like in YouTube or an Instagram reel, we feel a sense of happiness. And this is because of a psychological dopamine hit which is caused by the app. This is the same dopamine hit when you either vape, smoke, or drink alcohol. But on those products, there's a clear label marking how dangerous the product can be. Why isn't it there in social media? Remember, these apps can change how you think over time. These apps are made to confirm your biases. For example, you're an anti-vaxxer and you believe that people shouldn't vaccinate. Most of your social media feed will change according to how you think. They don't care whether the content they give you is correct or false, as long as it satisfies you. And this can cause great harm to you or others around you. Recently, Facebook had a propaganda campaign against the Rohingya minority in Myanmar, which caused over 730,000 Rohingya minorities to flee the nation. Crimes against humanity such as rape, assault, murder were committed to these people. What's even worse was that Facebook wasn't able to contain this propaganda campaign because fake news spreads way faster and is way easy to generate compared to real news. A study from Massachusetts Institute of Technology shows us that fake news in Twitter spreads almost 6 times faster than real news. And that's just not a fair competition. As future generation, we shouldn't get carried by these unethical apps and programs. We should say no to data collection. I highly admire EU's data collection and privacy laws. Remember, when a tree is dying, farmers don't look at the branches to fix the tree. They look at the root. Similarly, rather than looking at the big corporations and governments, we can all take tiny steps to fix this because we are at the root of the problem. Let's limit our time on social media, recheck the information we spread. Let's make this world a better place to live in.